Well, that confirms it. Apparently, even a full-on remodel can't get rid of our frickin' ghost.
I doubt that. It was probably a customer. They move stuff around all the time in the store.
This seems more like a message from the other side. Our cardboard cutout of Patrick Swayze put directly next to the register? What does it mean?
Wait, Patrick Swayze, the star of 1990's Ghost? You might be onto something.
Welcome to Rewind Video. I'm Bob.
I'm Rob.
And we love movies. Good ones, bad ones, old ones, new ones, movies you're afraid to watch alone, movies you're afraid to miss. So, I had an interesting encounter at the counter last week.
Okay. Encounter at the counter.
Encounter at the counter.
It's a new mini-series we're doing here.
It is,
Rewind Video.
Yeah. Tune in next week. So I see this kid coming into the store, and he's wearing one of those t-shirts that everyone had in the 90s.
The ones that you put your hand on it and... What were those called?
Those were Hypercolor t-shirts.
Hypercolor. Oh, those were fucking cool.
This was a No Fear t-shirt. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he saunters through the front door, confidently walks to the horror section, and proceeds to pluck every single movie off of our shelves from the horror section. All of them. Comes up to the counter with the intention of renting the whole lot, something like 280 films. So I say to him, look, I admire the ambition.
Yes.
But these are all 3-day rentals, and even if you don't sleep, you're not going to make it through all of these.
This isn't happening, buddy.
Yeah. You know what he says in response? No fear.
No fear. Wow.
So I ring him up, send him on his way, get back to pondering our most important task. You and I have the job of keeping the staff recommendation shelf stocked with movies that are deserving of our customers' attention. Each time we update the shelf, we adhere to a theme, and this week's theme is fear.
Yeah, just let me know when it's safe, when I can come out from under this blanket. I'm very scared about what's going to happen today.
I don't think the time has arrived yet. Yeah,
okay, that's good.
Stay safe under there.
Thank God.
I have to admit, I was salivating at this theme.
This was another one of those themes that was tougher for me than I thought it would be.
Yeah, my initial thought was, I'm going to be able to go nuts with horror movies.
Yes.
And then the more I thought about it was like, okay, well, picking 3 scary movies is the lazy way out.
But then, yes, but like fear, like how, right? Like you could be like, oh, I'm scared of this movie. Sure, that's a fear. But fear being like a big motivating factor in a movie, it's hard to find. I don't know.
It is. Yeah,
it's hard to find it without watching the movie. So it was harder to find the movies that I was going to pick.
Yeah, because to be scared by something is the consequence of something taking place. But to have fear of something,
yes,
different altogether.
Yeah, and I already picked arachnophobia.
You did.
Yeah, that's an easy choice.
Would have been good. But I'm excited by where we ended up. I took a bit of an unconventional path with at least one of my movies, but I'm excited to talk about yours. I had a lot of fun with yours.
That's the intent.
Well, on that note, why don't you just get us started?
Okay. I'm going to start us off in 1990. Mm-hmm. Just like Ghost.
Okay.
Strangely enough. The movie is Fear. This is filed under Scenes from a Laundromat. Which, there's not enough laundry scenes in movies.
No?
There's occasionally laundromat scenes, but this is there's a scene in this movie of a guy doing laundry. It's seen through the weird lens of, psychic connection, but still, you don't get a lot of laundry scenes.
I mean, we've covered Everything Everywhere All at Once, which takes place in a laundromat.
Yes.
You've had a time travel movie that takes place in a laundromat, didn't it? Wasn't it in a laundromat? Or was that a convenience store?
not sure what you're talking about.
Well, in any case,
yeah.
you're craving more laundry.
I
get
think
it.
there should be a movie about doing laundry, is what I'm saying.
You know what? Upcoming theme.
Yes. Oh, well, that might be kind of tough.
It might be.
And so, Fear, 1990. Here's the back of the box. A psychic helps police solve murders by mentally linking with the murderer. Then she discovers a murderer with the same talent who wants to share the fear of his victims with her! Exclamation point.
I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
I watched the Marky Mark movie.
Oh, my God. Well,
Because I hear that summary, and I'm like, this doesn't sound familiar.
that's not the right one. That's not from 1990.
Oh, I had so much to say about.
Well, I'm curious about how this is going to go.
Well, you know what? I'm just in the role of the customer.
Yeah.
And
Well, guess what?
I'm excited to be sold on this.
The tagline is not going to help you whatsoever. Here's the tagline. Your first impulse is your last sensation, which has a nice ring to
It
it.
does.
It doesn't mean anything. Like, what does that mean? Your first impulse is your last sensation?
I don't know. Well, I'm intrigued though.
Oh, well, you know what? If you had seen the movie,
It might make more sense.
it would make more sense for why it makes no sense, I guess,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited to have a chance to bring a movie with the same title as the topic. And this is, there was a lot of options for this one, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
chose the
wrong one.
one. This is from 1990. This was a Showtime original movie. And,
Is that right?
And it's appropriately sweaty, trashy. It stars Ali Sheedy.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of like an unsolved mysteries vibe to the cinematography, but you can kind of tell it's a low budget. I counted at least 3 shots with a boom mic in it.
Oh man, I am so bummed that I watched the wrong Fear.
You should watch this.
I'm planning.
I'm recommending.
I'm
it
planning
to.
to.
You.
I'll give the customers
Yeah.
their first dibs at it, but yeah, I'm gonna check this out.
So Ali Sheedy is this psychic who has this power to like read people's feelings over time and space, I guess, to help. And then she uses that to help police solve murders. And then she's turned those experiences into like this series of books that have turned her into like an Oprah guest type celebrity, you know?
Yeah.
So they're in LA, and so there's like this new serial killer in town called the Shadow Man. And then when she helps the police track him down, he uses his psychic powers to project his consciousnness onto her. And so she's just like chilling at home, and then she's getting like these visions of this horrible crime. And meanwhile, he's like he's giving play-by-play to her. So she's like listening to him talk as he's committing these horrible crimes, which also include like his heavy breathing for some reason. He's like, hey, well, what do you think about this murder I'm committing? And it's like, well, why would that come over? The psychic connection here.
Well, I mean, maybe it was just picked up by one of those boom mics.
So maybe, yeah. But so he's like kind of taunting her
Okay.
with his superior abilities.
So he knows of her and her powers.
You know, I think he's just like connected with her. Her powers, like I think it's just like it's like a radio station. Like you got to like tune into the frequencies, and only some people can do it.
Yeah,
and she's just out there. And I don't know if I think he does eventually figure out that like she's written some books or something or whatever. But he knows that like she's working with the police because he can kind of like read her thoughts and stuff.
Oh wow!
So the way it fits the theme is the killer is like a fear vampire, not literally. He's just kind of like a psycho murderous guy with this gift. But like his primary motivation is the fear of his victims. Like he like gets off on it. It's like almost like a fetish. He like really gets off on like them being afraid of him. And he scrawls "fear me" in their blood at the crime scenes after he kills everybody. So it's kind of like his aphrodisiac.
Interesting.
So this is like another solid, low budget, like 90s crime movie. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, do I ever?
It reminded me of kind of like a budget-minded single white female.
Yeah.
In that sense, probably a little bit like a little cheaper, grimy, a little sensational. Not a lot of twists and turns. There's like very little about it that's suspenseful or like mysterious. You know kind of what's happening. It's just a matter of like, are they going to get this guy or is he going to get them? The ending's pretty good. Although I do think the bad guy was like a little bit too physically intimidated by Ali Sheedy. Like at some point she like grabs a flashlight and like hits him with it, and then like he's just running away.
Mortified?
He's running away from her for the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
Which is ridiculous. And then like her plan she chases him to a window, and then he jumps onto a Ferris wheel.
Oh yeah.
And her plan is to like, when it comes back around, jump on it onto like the cart that he's on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Good,
and then
good
like,
plan.
what is the plan there? He jumps off and commits suicide, and it's like a little baffling. It's like, was that her plan to like wrestle with him, and then he's just like fuck it and jumps off? It's like, and it's not like Ali Sheedy's like a big woman. She's like 20-something years old at this point.
Yeah.
Like 110 pounds maybe.
Wow.
It's a little weird. It's a little strange.
Okay.
So this movie, Fear, it's rated 2.9 on Letterboxd, which is
2.9.
2.9.
Okay.
Right about where you would expect it. One user has it in their 4 favorites.
Oh.
Their name is Jada. Disappointingly normal Letterboxd account. Like you always hope that when you find that one person, you're like, oh, there's got to be something fucked up with this, but not really. 39% agree with my 3-star rating, including Tubi Rebovie, who wrote a review which probably won't make a ton of sense to you. But we'll get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
I love to put myself in the shoes of a side character, in this case, the fireman neighbor, and wonder how I'd react if a friend told me the same info they had to process. I can't say that I'd be entirely convinced if I heard, quote, I'm a psychic and I'm being hunted by another psychic who's also a serial killer. Did I mention he gets fear boners? Unquote.
I can connect some dots there.
But that's exactly what I was thinking in this, because like her neighbor's like this cute fireman guy. He's like the guy from Caddyshack.
Oh,
and they have like a little like a eye contact moment like in their back porches or whatever, and then like their meet cute is she like accosts him in the parking lot of a grocery store, and she's like, oh my god, this crazy maniac just drove by, he's wearing a hat, like you got to run into traffic and like try to find him, and he's like okay. and then he does that, and then he comes back, he's like, I don't know what this is about, and then she gives him like the whole story, like I'm a psychic, there's another psychic out there killing people, da 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 da, and he's just like, I'm with you, lady, like right, like it's
say less,
batshit crazy, and it's like, how is his reaction not like, oh wow, did you like that cute neighbor I had? Holy shit! You wait till like there's even a scene with him talking with his friends in like a bar later, and he's like talking like it's a regular story to tell people. He's like, well, I believe her. I think it's like a real thing. It's like it's fucking wacky, but hey, it's a 1990s psycho thriller, so it's kind of what you expect.
Okay, so I've got 3 quick questions for you.
Yeah.
1, am I correct in thinking that at the end of the day, this is a my psychic powers versus your psychic powers movie?
You know what? It should be. Kind of. I mean, I guess it kind of is. It's more like they don't. It's not like she doesn't defeat him with better psychic powers.
Okay.
I guess there's a little bit of deception going on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you thought you were reading my thoughts? Well, I was reading yours.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's just not like she overpowers him in any way. Except physically, which is kind of weird.
You'd think that it would have to be her psychic powers.
Right.
She would. Yeah.
No,
okay.
she kind of beats him physically.
Okay. So you mentioned this was a 1990 Showtime movie.
Uh-huh.
I think back to that era and feel like back then Showtime was like Cinemax's little brother. So it's how sexy is this
it's
movie? Not sexy.
No, it's not a sexy. It's not a Skinemax movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question. You had 2 movies in front of you named Fear.
Yes.
And you chose this one over the one that I watched with Mark Wahlberg.
That's correct.
Why?
I've actually never seen the Mark Wahlberg one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this one sounded more interesting.
Based on just what I know about this one, I think it might be right.
Well, maybe you can recommend the other one for another topic sometime.
No, I don't think I will. It wasn't going to be my favorite of your movies. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
All right.
For the After Dark show.
Yeah, right. So Fear.
Yeah, Fear, 1990, going on the shelf.
Great.
Fear.
I'm excited. I will watch it. Okay, so I am jumping us ahead to 2009. This is from the Disrespect Your Elders section of the store. And my first movie for Fear is Drag Me to Hell. So I only have one good tagline tonight, and this one isn't it. But here's the back of the box first. After denying a woman the extension she needs to keep her home, loan officer Christine Brown sees her once promising life take a startling turn for the worse. Christine is convinced she's been cursed by a gypsy, but her boyfriend is skeptical. Her only hope seems to lie in a psychic who claims he can help her lift the curse and keep her soul from being dragged straight to hell. The tagline is, Christine Brown has a good job, a great boyfriend, and a bright future, but in 3 days she's going to hell. Which is longer than it needs to be.
Yep.
I mean, I get what they're going for, but long throw first. But we get another psychic here.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of two, I suppose. But anyway, this is Sam Raimi's return to horror after spending much of the 2000s directing the wildly successful Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
And what we get here is equal parts horror, gross-out comedy, supernatural nightmare, old-fashioned morality tale. It feels like a filmmaker who is kind of gleefully rediscovering the genre that made his career.
He's having a lot of fun.
He's having a ton of fun. And he hates his main character.
Yeah.
He puts her through hell.
I think he
on her way to
he had
hell.
a lot of resentment towards Spider-Man, perhaps.
Maybe.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on there.
Yeah. While a lot of movies strive for realism, Drag Me to Hell embraces excess, and it's kind of operating in this heightened world where fear, humor, and revulsion all kind of coexist. But fear is present in the movie. It's not why I chose this movie, which I'll get to. I mean, yes, once our main character realizes that she's been cursed, she's a little consumed by some dread related to what could happen to her. And I think Sam Raimi understands that fear isn't always about what jumps out of the shadows, but it's sometimes about knowing that something terrible is coming and you're powerless to stop it.
Fear of getting puked on.
Yeah. Now, this was actually a screenplay that Raimi wrote right around the time that he made Evil Dead 2, and he just put it on a shelf. And so he and his brother Ivan returned to it when the time was right and they could make the movie that they wanted to make. It was originally titled Curse. But, yeah, Spider-Man 3 was an especially exhausting production. There was a lot of studio interference, and he was eager to get back to just making a smaller, more personal project. And this was that. But a lot of great practical effects here, some elaborate makeup work. Raimi is always a guy that strives to do as much as he can in camera. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of visual effects going on, but most of it very practical. And we get a lot of the signature camera moves and aggressive push-ins and frantic camera movement that he's known for, especially sound design. The sound design in this is great. And yeah, it premiered at Cannes and did pretty well. But why did I choose this? So for me, this is really about Sam Raimi. we might be living in the golden age of horror right now, but Raimi's like part of the old guard, in my opinion, as in relation to like filmmakers that are still making movies.
Right.
And horror is where he made his name, and even when he's directing something that isn't overtly a horror movie, you still get sprinkles of it in how he films.
But he never made a straight horror movie. Maybe you could argue that the first Evil Dead is kind of a straight horror movie, but like Evil Dead 2 is like a fucking Three Stooges movie. This is like not that
Army
far
of Darkness,
off from that. Yeah,
very
like,
much comedy. Yeah.
These are not, he's never done like straight horror. He kind of made it his own thing.
Yes.
And this is like definitely a return to that.
Yes. And I think that, I mean, having seen most of his filmography, and I agree with you, he doesn't have a lot. He probably doesn't have any straight up horror movies, and then he has quite a few films that are not even anywhere close to that genre. But this is one of my favorites of his, and I wouldn't say that it's the scariest movie I've seen. Far from it.
No.
But I think it's one of the most Raimi movies that Sam Raimi has ever made. And he's a guy that understands how to scare people in a unique way. And I love that. I think that this is like watching a director just have a blast doing what he does.
It's
really
not.
well.
It's not even like it's not a scare in like a scary way when he does it. It's just more like a gag.
Yeah.
That's been executed in a way that.
Yes.
Like there's never anything, I never felt like any part of this movie was scary.
No.
Right? Like I've never been like scared by anything. Like you can be like, I don't know, kind of put back by the old lady or whatever, but like you're never like, oh my God, what's around the corner? It never feels like that.
Yeah.
But like he does it almost like a joke. Like he's trying to pull off a punchline. He wants to get to a point where like, this person's hand gets chopped off, Yes. And he's like, how do I get there?
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, for me, this was just about choosing a movie by a director who has a unique take on horror, has a unique take on fear and scaring people, and is just doing what he does in a great, great way. I think this is actually a pretty... I think a lot of people would enjoy this in spite of how gross it is at certain points. I think there's a little something for everyone here, so I was excited to give us a reason to watch it. Roger Ebert was alive when this came out, and he reviewed it, said 3.5 out of 4 stars. It's a well-made horror movie that knows exactly what it is and doesn't pretend to be anything else. Gets a 3.2 on Letterboxd, which is low for me. I have this at 4.5 stars, and while I've mostly migrated to the full star system, this came before I made the switch, and I'm not going to change my rating. I think that's
Can't commit to another. You can't. You can't go one way or the other.
I'm comfortable leaving where it is for now. But most users have this at 4 stars, 21%. Only 4% go higher. Where did you come out on it?
I have it at 4 stars.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm not trying to take the bank's side because I'm not a fan of the banks.
Right.
But this old lady, like, she should have been in an apartment a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to be in that house. This is her fault. Don't get mad at the bank.
You, my friend, are finding yourself in the same position I was a few weeks back when I was ready for the community center to be turned into a grocery store.
I'm not saying she should be kicked out of her house and the bank should repossess it.
Yeah.
I'm saying she should have made the decision to get out of that house because it's obviously not a good financial decision. I don't think it's a good decision, period. She needs to,
Yeah. I mean, and she's, based on, spoiler alert, her funeral.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of friends.
She's got a lot of family. I assume there are a lot of that's family. Like something needs
let's get together a little community pot.
And I'm sorry, but like old people, like they want to stay in their house a lot of times, and like sorry, like it's a bad decision.
Yeah.
And when it's a financial decision, get out. Like you're
get out.
You're making things worse for everyone around you.
Yes. Yes.
I just felt like I had to say that.
No, I don't disagree with you. No surprise. I was ready.
You're specifically on the side of the banks because you love big business, you love land developers, you love banks.
I would not have needed my boss at the bank to tell me to push me toward a certain decision. I would have just come to him and been like, "Hey, guess what? See that old lady leaving? Yeah. She's not going home. She doesn't have a home."
This is what I would do, though. I would be, first of all, because if I worked for a bank, I wouldn't be like, I'm going to try to help this bank make money because I don't give a fuck just because I'm working for the bank. Mm-hmm. But what I would have done, I would have been like, yeah, like, I'm going to give you an extension, but lady, you gotta get out. Like, I'm giving you an extension to get out.
Yeah.
Like, get out of this house.
This is time for you to pack your bags and your dishes.
Sell it to somebody. Sell it to somebody tomorrow. Get out of this house. You can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But I would have given her an extension mainly because fuck the banks. That's not how you feel. I know.
I'm more cold-hearted.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm once again picking a review from Patrick Willems, whose reviews I love, and he said of Drag Me to Hell, "Sure, all those fancy modern horror movies are serious studies of trauma, but you know what's better? When an old lady pukes worms and maggots into someone's mouth."
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
It's great. Yeah. Great and gross. And you'll get that in Drag Me to Hell, which is my first pick for fear.
Okay. I'm going to take us to 1988. The movie is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
I absolutely watched this, and it was the correct...
Because she does have two movies.
She does? She has two pinball machines.
Well, not the same thing.
I watched Mistress of the Dark.
Yes.
That's the one.
I hope that's the one.
That's the one.
So this is filed under Elvira's Boob Adventure. Back of the box.
Yes.
Arriving in the small town of Falwell, Massachusetts to claim her inheritance, horror hostess Elvira receives a less than enthusiastic reception from the conservative locals, including her sinister Uncle Vincent.
He is sinister.
He's very sinister. This is a tagline that's not really a tagline. Elvira makes her big scream debut in her hot new comedy. I think that's how you would like introduce her on The Tonight Show.
Sure.
So Elvira is a character that existed before this movie. She is played by Cassandra Peterson, who is a lot like Paul Rubens and Pee-wee. They're just like entirely synonymous with this character.
Yeah.
She had kind of a fascinating career. One of those careers that like you think about like showbiz careers.
Yeah.
She grew up in Colorado and got her parents to take her to Vegas for like a family trip or something, and they went to a live show, and then while she was there, like she was spotted by their producers who gave her a contract, and then she like went back home, graduated high school, and came back to Vegas and was a showgirl just like that.
What?
And
really?
This is the late 60s. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like when shit like that happened.
So she was in high school when she got
She was
spotted.
in high school, and then I guess like one of the producers was like, "Hey, look at this broad," and like, "Oh, you wanna,
wow,
this is dirty business."
Yeah.
And then she moved to Italy to be the lead singer of like rock bands, like several rock bands in Italy.
What a life!
She was in a Fellini film while she was over there, and then she like came back to the U.S. and worked as a hostess for the Playboy Club. I think she might have been in like Playboy magazine. And then in the late 70s, she joined the Groundlings. And then that's where she like started to like
develop this
character a little bit. This was around the same time that Paul Rubens and Phil Hartman were in the Groundlings as well.
Wow.
And then in 1981, a local LA TV station was reviving a horror show from the 60s or something. And they hired her as the host to replace Vampira. And then that's where like the character really became like her persona. Like she developed it into this thing, like what it is.
What a biography.
And then that character was on like MTV and WrestleMania and like commercials and football games or something.
Selling Coors Light.
Coors Light,
I mean, I remember I was aware of her. She was part of the zeitgeist in like the 80s and 90s, and
Yeah.
and I didn't know what she was from. I assumed it was like a show I had never seen, but
And it kind of was. I think
Yeah.
she had she'd hosted a show where she did like the movie thing again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but like she was like a personality
everywhere.
that was
Yeah.
kind of like famous for being this thing that you don't even really know. Like,
Yeah.
oh, is she something?
she literally had 2 pinball machines.
Yeah. She probably still does.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
probably makes
yeah.
a good pinball income.
Yeah.
Slot machines probably too.
Oh, I imagine.
So she goes to this small Massachusetts town to get her inheritance, and it's a very like tight knit and conservative town. And like when she comes into town, they're very like struck with the fear of the unknown. Right?
Yeah.
They see how she dresses, they notice how she talks and acts, and they just know she doesn't belong there. They're afraid of it. And even though she's perfectly harmless, kind of. During the opening credits, she casually murders a hitchhiker. After she sexually assaulted him, I think. They don't really show that part. And then she blows up a gas station with a guy inside. So she does kill a couple of people to start the movie. But it's like all in good
not
fun.
vindictive,
It's all
yeah.
in good fun. Yeah, she accidentally threw an axe into that guy's back.
yeah.
So I don't know, whether or not you like this movie probably comes down to whether or not you're into like her shtick. It's basically like an 80s retro take on like the TV horror host with like a California Valley Girl vaudeville aspect to it. It's like it's like kind of like its own unique thing. The jokes are campy, it's corny, but it's ironically corny. Like it's in on the joke, but it's kind of also non-ironically funny.
Yeah.
Like they're good jokes, but they're told in a shticky way.
Yes. It's interesting to me because we talked about this movie a few weeks ago, and you kind of gave me the pitch on what she was and what this was about, and I had no idea. And I had definitely finish your pitch, but this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because she's like a take on a corny TV host, but she is a corny TV host,
Right.
Like in the movie she is. In real life, Elvira is a corny TV host that also like plays a person who's in on the joke of being a corny TV host. So like the movie is just a matter of putting her into situations with new characters and different different situations, so she can like do her shtick against those people or those things, right? And also her cleavage is just on display for the entire movie, and like that's the joke, it's just boob jokes from beginning to end, and like she wants it that way. She's, you know what I mean? Like that's part of the joke. She's like, how come everyone's not looking at my boobs? Yeah, right. And so like she's not afraid to like be the butt of the joke,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this movie's just a ton of fun. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark is rated 3.8 overall on Letterboxd. 3,400 people have it in their 4 favorites. 27% agree with my 4-star rating, including Alondra, who wrote in her review, "We need more movies about boobs."
I mean, I got a secret for her. There's a lot. You're just not in the right section of the store.
True enough.
Yeah. But back to Elvira. I love this. This could easily become a 5-star movie for me. I watched the disc version, which is, it got a 4K release recently.
Yeah.
It looks phenomenal. And one of the special features is like a feature-length documentary on the movie with a lot of the people that were in it, including Cassandra herself. And one of the things that I found fascinating is that in the time since this has been released, a lot of women have really identified with this character and grown to love Cassandra for playing it and the way she plays it. And they touch on this a little bit in the special features, but it's kind of not surprising because there's a feminist quality to her character. She's confident in how she looks. She's not afraid to be different. She's an underdog. She doesn't put up with shit from men who are, she's
sexually aggressive.
She's sexually aggressive, but doesn't let herself get abused or anything.
Right.
And when you add all of that up, it's a pretty phenomenal character.
Right.
So I don't know. I thought this was just terrific.
It's delightful. I'm kind of with you. Like, I can see this being 5 stars one day. I'm fairly new to this too. We talked about it a few weeks ago. I had just seen it for the first time. So yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm putting Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, on the staff shelf this week for the topic of fear.
Great pick. Really great pick. All right, so I'm going to 1995. And this is from a very small section of our store. It's the autographed squirrel covers section of the store. And my second pick for fear is Copycat. This has an egregiously bad tagline. It's a 3-sentence tagline. Oh. The back of the box is 1 sentence.
They did not get mixed
so
up.
fucking backwards. All right, so here's the back of the box. An agoraphobic psychologist and a female detective must work together to take down a serial killer who copies serial killers from the past.
Pretty straightforward.
Tagline. One man is copying the most notorious serial killers in history one at a time, period. Together, 2 women must stop him from killing again, period. Or they're next.
No, that is just embarrassing.
Ugh. Like, come on, people. I could see how some might hear a tagline like that and say, well, I'm not even going to give this movie a chance because if the tagline's bad, the movie's got to be terrible.
Plus the name of the movie is Copycat. You could do so many things with that.
Oh, my God.
That you could wrap up in less than 10 words.
Yes. Certainly less than 3 sentences. Ugh. So
he's got 9 lives left or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So this is a mid-90s thriller directed by a guy named John Emile, and it stars Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, and we get Dermot Mulroney, a couple other characters. There's one guy whose name always escapes me, but he's from the Halloween films, and he's great too. But this is kind of arriving during a decade that is obsessed with serial killers and criminal profiles, psychological thrillers. So
it's not totally unlike the movie Fear, which you did not see.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah.
Pre-7.
Yeah. This occupies kind of an interesting space between prestige crime drama, which we started to get before this and then got a lot of afterward, and then just like pure popcorn entertainment. And certainly never reaches the heights of the genre's most celebrated entries. Definitely, an entertaining time capsule from an era when studios routinely made movies like this that were smart, adult-oriented thrillers for mainstream audiences.
I mean, because of the way the business worked back then, one of these came out at least once a month.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because, couples would go out on Friday or Saturday night, and this was like the kind of movie that couples want to go see.
Yeah.
And that's just not something that happens as much anymore.
Yeah.
Partly because they don't make these kinds of movies, I think. But that was just like a thing that they just made these.
And these aren't even movies that are still being made but going straight to streaming.
Right.
They're just not making them.
Right.
I mean,
occasionally something comes out, you're like, yeah, that's kind of got that 90s thriller vibe.
Right.
But yeah, not like they used to.
Mm-mm. And so it's interesting because I saw this before Silence of the Lambs. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it was the serial killer movie of the 90s. And I watched it a bunch. And so I would hear people talking about Anthony Hopkins, and my response to that would be like, well, have you seen Harry Connick Jr. in Copycat? So crickets, right? Yeah. So how does this fit the theme? Fear is definitely present in Copycat, but it's also directly built into the protagonist. So Sigourney Weaver's character, Helen Hudson, is an agoraphobic, and that dictates nearly every aspect of her life. She never leaves her apartment, and everyday activities kind of become these overwhelming challenges for her. And so, yeah, we have the serial killer plot providing some suspense, but the movie spends an equal amount of time on this character who must like confront a fear that has already imprisoned her long before the serial killer shows up.
You know what this movie could have used? Laundry scene.
A laundry scene.
I mean, she's not going to a laundromat. She's doing laundry in that apartment.
Yeah.
I want to see the setup.
I mean, there's already a lot going on with outfits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, yeah. Like I said, this was released at the height of the 90s serial killer boom. Between Silence of the Lambs and then movies like Seven. Years later, believe it or not, Sigourney Weaver would say that she was the most proud of her work in this film because she really worked hard to, I guess, portray the mindset of an agoraphobic and regrets that this movie was kind of like lost in the shuffle of thrillers at the time and isn't better remembered.
Hold a glass of whiskey the whole time. It's pretty much how she did it.
Yeah. Very often drunk. So one of the other actors in this movie who plays the serial killer, William McNamara, spoke on a podcast and said that his character in this film was entirely rewritten and reshot after some failed screen tests deemed him to be the worst part of this movie. A lot of people.
Wait, which character?
He was the copycat.
Dude, the dude cop?
No, the copycat.
Oh, the killer.
Killer, yeah. Apparently his character was deemed too cerebral, and so Frank Darabont came in and did a rewrite of his character.
Okay.
And then Anthony Hopkins coached him on how to play this part.
I think in this version of the movie, he's the worst part of this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't like the main bad the killer guy at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either, and I have a lot of problems with
like he's such a letdown in the second half of this movie.
Yeah,
I think like he's still the weak point. I think it's like maybe it's the actor's fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like this guy just doesn't work as this character. I think
we get introduced to him a little too soon because, there's some mystery around who he is. And then we find out and I'd rather not know.
Yeah. They also like the movie just gets bogged down in the second half. The first half is like really good.
Yeah.
The second half, it gets bogged down in like, there's too much of this guy, who I don't like.
Yeah.
I think it gets bogged down in like plot details and like trying to make stuff happen.
Agree.
I wasn't a huge fan of Harry Connick Jr. I don't think he comes across as this character at all.
I love him because it's a hilarious portrayal.
Because it's such bad casting.
Yes.
Like, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I think if the movie was worse, his performance would come off better. Do you know what I mean? Like if it was like a worse movie and it was more like fun to watch because it was like cheesy, but it's not that really.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter here who are giving it their best, and so that elevates it to a point. And then you have like
the dude cop is like the worst part of that.
Dermot Mulroney.
All the dudes in this movie are the worst parts of the movie.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a 3-star movie for me. Like I said, I watched it a ton when I was younger. There's some nostalgia there, but. I mean, looking back now, it's abundantly obvious that it's not operating at the same level as a lot of the heavy hitters in this genre and even from that time. But I also don't think that's what it's necessarily trying to do. I enjoy how unapologetically 90s this feels.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a by-the-numbers studio thriller in the best possible way. The cast that is well cast is doing great.
Yeah.
And I think there's some genuine suspense and a premise that's interesting enough to keep things moving. But I do like that the agoraphobia angle gives it like a unique connection to the theme and elevates it above just like your typical procedural.
They don't quite I actually really like the premise. They don't quite execute it as well as I wish there was more of like figuring it out along the way. This is this is a 3-star movie for me too.
Yeah.
I go back to it every 5 or 6 years or something, and every time I watch it, I'm like halfway through and going like, this might be like way better than I remember.
Yeah.
And the second half is just like, it's
womp,
not.
womp.
Yeah, it's like, it's just not quite. There's something missing from it, but it's a really solid 3-star 90s serial killer.
Yeah. I mean, I never hear anybody talking about it, and I imagine that a lot of people probably haven't seen it. If you're just looking for a fun thriller rather than like masterpiece cinema with Silence of the Lambs or Seven or something, this is going to deliver. And the Murder by Numbers needle drop is just terrific. Yeah. I love that song. Love the Police.
I think because the serial killer, like the main killer, didn't resonate with people, and also because people, I guess, knew who Harry Connick Jr. was. All the marketing and stuff, even in streaming, like thumbnails and stuff, kind of lead you to believe that he's a very big part of this movie. He's not really.
No.
He's a very small part.
Yeah.
So like, if you're like, I really don't want to see Harry Connick Jr. as some dumb redneck. You don't. There's not that much of him.
He's in like 3 scenes.
Yeah, he's not that. He's not that bad.
This averages a 3.2 on Letterboxd. Shade high. I mean, like, vast majority of users have this at 3 stars, 32%. 397 people have this among their 4 favorites. And then I plucked a 4-star review from Tessa, who I thought had something interesting to say. She said, Dermot Mulroney doesn't even bother trying to act when he's in scenes with Holly Hunter and Sigourney Weaver, and I respect that.
Just stand there and do whatever.
Yeah, look pretty, I suppose. All right, so that's my second pick, Copycat, for the topic of fear.
All right, I'm going to bring us up to a recent film from 2023 called, this is a very long title. It's not quite long enough to be a tagline for your movies.
Yeah, right.
It's called Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person.
I have a lot to say about this.
This is filed under It Sucks to Suck.
Oh, I love that.
Here's the back of the box. Sasha is a young vampire with a serious problem. She's too sensitive to kill. When her exacerbated parents cut off her blood supply, Sasha's life is in jeopardy. Luckily, she meets Paul, a lonely teenager with suicidal tendencies who is willing to give his life to save hers. But their friendly agreement soon becomes a nocturnal quest to fulfill Paul's last wishes before day breaks. There is no tagline.
Better than a bad one.
Always a good choice.
Yeah. Always a good choice.
So this is a French language, Quebecois, Canadian coming-of-age vampire comedy.
I feel like this was chosen in part because it fits the theme, but also as a lesson to me. Yeah. I feel like this was you trying to say, hey, Bob, foreign language movies don't need to be these 3-hour meandering think pieces with people smoking in an apartment and a plot that's maybe or maybe not there.
I was trying to think if there are any scenes of people smoking cigarettes in small rooms in this, but I don't recall.
No. There are people listening to a record player in a small room.
I did choose this movie. I knew it was in French. I thought it was a French movie when I chose it.
Yeah.
Which I was going to be like, see, Bob, you're not the only one. But then I found out that it's not. It's from Canada.
It's Canadian, yeah.
So Sasha is a young girl, and when she's a young girl, she's in a family of vampires, and her parents, also vampires, get a clown to perform for her birthday party, and she's enchanted by his clownery. She loves this clown.
Who doesn't love a good clown show?
Well, I think a lot of people. But so what her parents don't tell her is that they intend to eat this clown after he's done doing his little clown thing. So this is an extremely traumatic event for her, and she's subsequently not able to feed herself in the future because she can't bring herself to kill people to eat them. But then she eventually befriends a suicidal boy from her neighborhood, and seems like a pretty straightforward, mutually beneficial situation until they spend some time together and it gets complicated. So the movie presents it as though she is like, quote, too sensitive to kill. So it's kind of like she's kind of like I want to say it's almost like an ethical vegetarian.
Yeah.
Except like animals are the only thing that is safe for you to eat. So like, I don't know, like you're still drinking their blood. Somebody's dying for that.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're an ethical vegetarian, we're like, well, I just refuse to kill the animal. It's like, well, you're not really. But she just can't. She literally can't do it, right? Like she's like, she can't get it up. Essentially, this is like kind of vampire's version of puberty. And her pubic hair isn't coming in. And her parents are like, we don't know what to do.
A little slow to develop.
Yeah. But so you could argue that like she's, quote, afraid to kill people. But that's not really the fear I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I was wondering where fear came into this, because I didn't actually interpret it as she was afraid to kill people. I think I got my answer near the end of the film, but I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
I got my answer at the beginning.
Oh.
Just because, like, what if it's coulrophobia, which is fear of clowns, which is a very real phobia. It's not one that I understand. Well, no, I guess I kind of understand it. I'm not afraid of clowns.
Okay.
But there are people who are terrified of clowns.
Yeah.
I do think clowns are creepy. I don't know how you feel about clowns in general.
Couldn't care less about clowns. Not creepy, not entertaining.
Yeah.
A waste of my time. Like mimes.
But you don't find mimes creepy? Just like,
no.
I don't know. There's something, like if a mime was at a party, you'd be like, this is fucking creepy. I guess creepy not as in like a horror movie creepy, more just like, this is kind of gross creepy.
I'm going to invite a mime to the store's Christmas party this year, and we'll decide together if it's creepy or not.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I think if you take a poll at the end of that party, you'll have your answer.
Okay.
And I don't think I'm going to be proven wrong. Anyway, so I guess the reason, if you look it up on the internet, the reason apparently people are afraid of clowns is, we've had a lot of, in the last 50 years, we've had a lot of depictions of clowns in pop culture, and also what was the serial killer John Wayne Gacy was like.
Oh yeah.
So it's like people have had this image of like killer clowns in their head since the 70s, like our whole lives at least.
We've had Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the movie.
That's true, yeah.
Pennywise.
But I guess it's also like it's almost like an uncanny valley of human interaction, right? Because they have these like fake faces painted on, like fake smiles.
Yeah.
And so when you encounter clowns, like especially as like a child, sometimes people like it can be like a way to hide their facial expressions, but also exaggerate other facial expressions that aren't happening.
Yeah.
And so there's this weird disconnect. And so like, especially if like a kid like encounters it and like has a weird reaction to it, they just never come back. And the rest of their lives, anytime they come across a clown or think of clowns or have nightmares, it's always about clowns, right? So it's like, there is a reason to be afraid of clowns.
So you're making the case that the fear in this movie is a fear of clowns that she developed
based on
during that birthday party.
It's like she got so. If you look at it like it's a like puberty or something, right? Like she got so traumatized by this clown incident that it has turned into it has hindered her development as an adult.
So I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I'm going to give you a different take.
Glad to hear it.
And near the end of the movie, we've seen her struggling with getting her fangs to come out, and it happens sporadically. She's kind of ashamed by it when it does, but also can't really make it happen herself. And the guy that she is with literally says, "Your fangs only come out anytime you fear for my life."
Yeah.
And I thought, well, there it is. When she fears for his life, she actually becomes the vampire. So
that's true. I don't quite get that.
it seemed like a thesis from him, not necessarily like a well, here's a fact for you.
I hadn't thought about it that way until you said it, and I was like, I guess so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm going with fear of clowns.
Okay. All right.
That's my thing.
Can't knock it.
That's actually why I chose it. I was like, wow, I can talk about fear of clowns.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a cute teenage comedy. There's some funny moments. I like the characters. They're fun to hang with for the most part. I do enjoy its take on vampirism and vampire lore.
Yeah.
People can be turned into vampires if certain situations are met in the blood sucking. Mm-hmm. But vampires are also, I guess, born to vampires. Which is, not always true. And vampires age in this world. They just age very slowly.
Yeah.
Because she's like a young girl and then she gets older and she's a vampire the whole time. So you do get older. She is in her 60s, by the way. This teenage girl's in her 60s, which I guess makes the friendship a little weirder than if it was just teenagers, which,
She's in her 60s in the movie, not in real life. The actress is yes, a young girl.
The character's in her 60s. Yeah. The actress is a teenager close to it.
Yeah.
So I also was pretty intrigued by the idea of vampire social services, which seem to exist in this world, doctors, hospitals, etc. The Canadian vampires. I mean, they have better healthcare than American humans. It seems like.
Yeah.
And also the kid wasn't surprised when she's basically like, well, I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
She didn't even have to say it. She was just like, oh, so you're a vampire. It's like, how old are you really? And that's just part of this world. So which got me thinking, if this is a world where vampires exist and they have to murder people and suck their blood and whatever, how smart is it to just have a clown business where you show up to people's houses? It just seems like a bad decision. It seems like that would be a very expensive trip.
You got to be really hard up to become a clown who is doing this kind of gig.
Yeah, you got to be really, really careful.
Yeah.
So Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person is rated 3.9. overall on Letterboxd. 5,300 people have it in their 4 favorites. 12% agree with my 3-star rating, including Sage, who wrote in her review, I like how Paul was actively trying to jump off the roof of his workplace while on the clock. So real.
Yes.
So I'm putting a Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person on the shelf this week for fear.
Okay, so I got a couple questions for you.
Yes.
One, there's a lot of talk about feeding on people and eating them in this. Mm-hmm. And while I was trying to kind of figure out a parallel for this movie, which at first was like, oh, it's like the Manic Pixie Dream Girl version of Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
I then landed on, well, it's actually got a lot more in common with Raw than Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
And I had to wonder, is what vampires are doing cannibalism?
We've talked about this briefly, I think. I'm not sure that it counts. I don't think it counts.
Yeah, because I guess you'd have to be a human.
Because they don't feed on other vampires.
To be a cannibal. Yeah, they don't feed on other vampires. Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right, I buy that.
You stop being human and become vampire once you've turned.
Right. So it is in the broad category of movies where people are eaten, but not in the more specific category of cannibal movies.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Vampires are not cannibals.
Yeah, not cannibals.
Period. Until I see anything that proves otherwise.
Yeah.
I've never seen a vampire movie or story where vampires can drink the blood of other vampires like it's just people blood. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing that happens.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Okay. My next question, do you know what my least favorite part of this movie is?
Can't think of it.
The title.
Oh, really?
I I get what they're trying to do, and it's a cute title, but the whole time I'm thinking, okay, she's the humanist vampire, he's the consenting suicidal person, and I so much would have rather that been revealed to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of who she's looking for. And I just think it would have been a better movie if
It was revealed.
Yeah. And I mean, you could call this movie countless things, but I wish they hadn't revealed so much in the title.
It's an eye-catching title. I think
Yeah.
it works on that level.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean.
I still liked it a lot. I wavered on whether to give it 4 stars. I think it could become 4 stars for me. I'm with you. I have it at 3 right now. I mean, it's a tender movie.
Yeah, it's like and it's 90 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it's good. It's good, and an unconventional entry into the vampire genre.
Yeah.
So a worthwhile watch, and I found it on Shudder.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. All right, awesome pick. All right, to round things out, I'm going back to 1981, and this is from the Mistakes Were Made Immediately section of the store. And this is my one movie with a good tagline. I've chosen Southern Comfort as my last fear movie. Here's the back of the box. During a training exercise in the Louisiana Bayou, a squad of National Guardsmen provokes a local group of Cajun trappers and soon finds themselves hunted through unfamiliar territory where every wrong decision could be their last. Tagline, it's the land of hospitality unless you don't belong there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good,
so good.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a survival thriller directed by Walter Hill, no stranger to the shelf. We had him up here for The Warriors. He directed 48 Hours. But this is kind of often described as a backwoods thriller with echoes of the Vietnam War. And it follows a group of weekend warriors who kind of like quickly discover that their training and bravado mean very little when they're dropped into hostile territory that they don't understand. And yeah, like more than 40 years later, it's, I think, still a very effective suspense film that's built on kind of atmosphere and geography, mounting desperation rather than like traditional horror elements.
Yeah.
And yeah, how does it fit the theme? So fear in this, from my perspective, comes from this like slow realization that rescue may never arrive. These men are lost, they're outnumbered, they're in unfamiliar surroundings, and pit against opponents who know the territory and are better equipped than they are. And as their situation deteriorates, you know, like panic sets in for some of them. You know, we see a couple guys like descend into madness, descend into fear. But it's all kind of connected by this feeling that you're completely out of your depth and running out of options, which I find
You're
to
on
be
someone else's turf.
Yeah, I find that to be a very frightening premise. Like it's something that strikes fear in me.
Yeah.
So I love it for that reason. But yeah, Walter Hill deliberately wanted the Louisiana swamps as a setting, as more than just a setting, but like a way to turn the environment against the into an antagonist and constantly disorient the characters in this movie, and I think the audience.
It's also like, you know, obviously a stand-in for Vietnam.
100%. Yeah.
Which, you know, that I don't know if it's exactly the same sort of topography, but it's similar.
Yeah. I mean, so many reviews and readings of the film since it came out are drawing that parallel. Weirdly, Walter Hill has resisted it, but it's right there.
I mean,
poorly prepared soldiers in a place that they don't belong
against the locals
that
are just protecting their turf.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you try to say this is not a movie about Vietnam, like I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
So this film despite getting strong reviews, underperformed at the box office, spent years kind of developing a cult following through cable television and home video. It just got a 4K release from Vinegar Syndrome, and that's introduced it to some new audiences, and it looks great even today. So why did I choose this? This was a movie that my dad showed me when I was too young to see it. But the thing that stuck with me was very much how terrifying the premise is, and not because of anything particularly graphic or shocking that happens on screen, but very much because of what these guys are experiencing. And yeah, I also love how the film gradually strips away this illusion of control. You know, the guardsmen arrive thinking that they're prepared for anything and quickly discover that their training exercises don't mean a thing when reality starts kind of fighting back against them. Fantastic cast. You got Powers Booth here. We got pre-Tremors Fred Ward.
What an incredible bunch of guys.
Yes.
Like, if I told you, like, all right, you have a movie in 1981, pick out a bunch of guys, like, you would probably pick, like, these guys, right?
Yeah. I can't remember the actor's name, but the character of Knowles in The Thing shows up here.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of good going for it, and Walter Hill's ability to wring tension out of every situation amounts to one of my favorite thrillers from the 80s. So Ebert gave this 3 out of 4 stars. He said the movie was effective because it understands that confusion can be as frightening as violence. It's got a 3.7 on Letterboxd. 37% of users agree with my 4-star rating, and 61 have this in their 4 favorites. Where do you come out on?
I gave it 3. I'm not at 4 yet. I do want to go back to it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't like I don't think this is a bad thing, but like I wasn't rooting for these characters, and I think that's part of the fun. The fun is like, fuck these guys.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. It is kind of like watching Red Dawn from the other side.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah,
because there was definitely this We Live Here vibe.
Yeah,
to the swamp people. Which they do.
And these National Guardsmen do a fucked up thing.
Yeah.
And suffer the consequences.
Exactly.
So it's like
they're fucking with these guys, you know, home.
Yeah.
I mean, also never mad about a movie featuring quicksand, which I think was like it was like a period of time. It was like in a bunch of movies. I don't even know if it's like real in the way that it's depicted in a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
But I think I think a lot of people had a fear of quicksand for a long time because if you watched if you watch movies from like the 60s and 70s and 80s, like it was just in movies all the time, and you had this vision of like, I'm just gonna be walking through the woods, and then all of a sudden I'm just gonna get sucked into the earth.
Yeah,
which I don't know. I don't think that's really a thing.
I was definitely afraid of quicksand when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I think it was partly instilled from The Princess Bride.
But
you know,
I think a lot of us grew up with that.
Yeah, right. But yeah, a lot of that's one of the few instances where somebody dies just on their own, not because of the locals. We get a lot of swamp traps in this, which is
pretty cool,
fun. I plucked an excerpt from a review by Todd Gaines, who said, "It's Predator without predators and aliens without aliens in Walter Hill's tale of Trouble on the Bayou," which I thought was pretty accurate. Well, Rob, I fear we've come to the end of our recommendations for the week. But just because there aren't more films to talk about doesn't mean we haven't offered up 6 great picks for the topic of fear, including Fear, the 1990 version.
1990.
Drag Me to Hell, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Copycat, Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person, and Southern Comfort.
If you don't have time to stop into the store, you can visit us 24 hours a day at rewindvideopod.com. You can also find us on Letterboxd and Blue Sky, or send an email to rewindvideopod@gmail.com. And if you're a fan of the show, please rate, review, like, subscribe, and recommend it to all your friends who love movies.
Do we have time to talk about our next theme? I know that time is of the essence for you. In particular, you're someone who
Make it quick.
Is always thinking about like run time, break time, bedtime.
Hurry this up a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you say we're good, then I'm excited to announce that our next theme is time.
Tick tock.
Yeah. As usual, we'll have 6 movies to recommend, but if you're looking for something in the meantime, feel free to hit us up for a movie to watch.
Be kind. Recommend. Hails.